right. So today we're just going to go over two quick things, okay? Actually three things. So first thing what I'll do is I'll go over where you need to be in the course, what you need to do. We're going to go over content-wise, like the value of education, and then also what you can do to get some higher education. And that doesn't necessarily mean like going to a university, but it could be going to a tech college or getting some certificate or something like that, okay? So that's what we're going to go over today. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to share my screen with you. All right, so if you can see my screen, will you give me a green check mark real quick? All right. I kind of like a small class, just then see everybody participating. Good. All right, so this should look like your course, okay? When you log into Personal Finance Block 3, as you can see right here, I have the recordings if you were to miss something. Remember the course is really self-paced, but you have to keep a minimum pace as you're going through here. So that's where the course plan comes into play, okay? So let me just right-click here when you get up the plan, and then we'll go over content in a second. Okay, so this is a month view, and so right now we're at the 5th, okay? So if I were to go back to the very starting of the class, we had our first module that was due on the 17th, and everything is basically due Monday, Wednesday, or Thursday. First time it started on the 17th, we had no school on the next day, which was the 20th, and then the 22nd, that kind of stuff. So as we're going through, we should just be working through this week. This week we should do Module 7, Module 8, and Module 9. So let me kind of tell you where those occur here. So I'm going to come up to the top here. I'm going to press the content, and then that will lead me to over here. So I have them broken down into 5 units. So right now you should already be through Unit 1, okay, Unit 2, and Unit 3. So Unit 3 is where we should do. So what we need to do is go to Module 7, which talks about paying for college, which we'll be talking about today. All you're going to do is come right here. You're going to click this one, which will open up the video that you need to watch. Okay. Click on this. This is a guy that went to high school in Utah, but went to Dixie State University and created that video. And then you're going to click on the quiz and take the quiz. And you can retake the quiz as many times as you like to get the score that you desire, okay? So I have some people, I think 2 or 3 or 4 people that are actually completed with the whole class already, okay? So, which is very typical. So if you want to go through and do all 15 lessons and watch all the videos and take all the quizzes, you're going to know what your grade is right away for the class, right? And if you've done all of them, you're going to get a passing grade. So any questions on that? I'm going to stop that real quick and get down to back to my slide. Any questions on what you need to be doing, where you should be right now? This week you should be working on lesson 7, 8, and 9. Once we do all of them, do we have to attend class? No, you don't. Me too. If you're done with the class, you're done with the class. You've done the content, so and maybe that's why I have so low numbers. We only had 4 when I started. Now we're up to like 10. So that's fantastic. Okay. So we're going to go over the value of education real quick, and then how to pay for college or some type of education after you graduate from high school. But let's just go over the value of college real quick. So these statistics, right? So numbers are pretty interesting. Okay, so this is in 2005. So the salary has gone up a little bit, but I'm not saying it's got up that much. You feel like this one is lower? Like the the numbers is lower. Is that what you're saying? Okay, I'll let you finish that, but as I kind of go through it. So if you drop out from high school, I mean, you can't even work at McDonald's without a high school education. Yeah. Well, that means that you can't really get a good job, right? And then we'll talk about that too, okay? So a high school dropout with no degree, maybe around $20,000 a year, okay? A high school diploma, you're going to get more, maybe around $30,000 a year. If you have 2 years of college, which is going in and getting like an associate's degree, you're going to make quite a bit more, right? $7,000, $8,000 more. If you have a 4-year college bachelor's degree, you're going to make, you know, 50,000 plus. Postgraduate degree, you have a huge jump where you're almost at $70,000 per year. Okay. So that's something that you really want to look at when you're going there. I know some of you may not particularly like school. I wasn't huge on high school either, but college was a lot funner when I could study something I'd like to study. Kind of go that. Yeah, I feel like it's a lot more now. Yeah, so, I mean, it's a lot more now, but the cost of living has gone up, right? So, back in 2005, you could find a place to rent, I know this for a fact, right, for $600-700 where I live right now, okay? Right now, I wouldn't be able to find a place to rent for less than $1,200. So you can kind of see how it's gone up. So this has gone up, like the amount you're making, but everything else has gone up too, right? You have power bills, right, that you have to pay, housing, all that kind of stuff. It all kind of goes up from there, okay? All right. But yeah, that is very true. Okay, so this is another thing, how education pays, okay? The less schooling you have, the more likely you are to be unemployed, okay? So less than a high school diploma, the average amount of people that are unemployed, okay, and this metric was in 2009, okay, so it still is, 10 years old. But as you can kind of see here, most of the unemployment here is with a high school degree or less. If you graduate from high school, you know, you are 5% less likely to be unemployed. Some college, right? Associate's degree, bachelor's, master's, professional degree, that'd be like a lawyer or something like that, and then doctoral. And so somebody said, why is doctoral higher? I like that. And one thing is because once you get to that point up to a certain level, like as a doctoral level, it's really kind of hard to take a position that maybe a lower paying position, if that makes sense. So a lot of doctoral ones are like university professors, that kind of thing. And so there's not as many university like professor jobs. And so that's my rationale for it, but it doesn't mean that that is completely correct. And then you also have the median weekly income, as you see like there. So, I mean, you're going to be making with a professional degree or doctoral degree around $1,500 or more a month. And you can go and times that by 4.5 and times it by 12, and that will give you like the yearly amount. But you're going to make less than like $500 a month with a high school diploma, according to 2009. So that's kind of gone up a little bit, as we said before. You know, some areas the minimum wage has gone up, and so on. Okay. All right. So we all know what the benefits of education is. So the one problem that a lot of people see, right, is college is so expensive, right? We thought rent and stuff went up. Well, when I went to Weber State University, okay, and the cost of tuition when I started going was, I think, $1,800 a semester. Now I think it's about $3,500 a semester, so $3,500. So it's basically doubled the amount it has been. But the good thing out there is plenty of different options to be able to get money, get scholarships, get grants, and get all kinds of things like that to help you pay for college. Hooray for economic. Tons. Yeah, so there's tons of scholarships, right? And grants and aid that you can get to help you pay for college. And I got that when I was in school as well. So, how does like a typical family pay for college, okay? Scholarships and grants usually make up about 30% of what people pay. Relatives and friends paying about 5%. Student borrowing, that means student loans, which you've maybe heard a lot about. I know people that have hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars, but they're doctors, right, in student loans, so they're able to pay them back quickly. They also have loan forgiveness programs there. What about the 32%? That's a great question. I have no idea. Maybe parents pay? It got cut off on my slide too. I'm pretty sure that's parent borrowing, but just like parents have saved for college. Okay. And I've had a little bit of like each of these. Like I've had to pay my parents back. I worked, so I went and got work there and paid for college as I was going to it. And luckily I only had like, I think about $8,000 in student loans when I was done, which is really cheap. Okay. Okay. I know, now I'm done. Yeah, so a lot of people like they work and then they go to school at a time. There's online universities now that are pretty reputable, and people go to get an education there. Off the top of my head, you got like Western Governors University, which is reasonable when it comes to tuition. So there's a lot of options out there. But I want to kind of let you know about different types of financial aid. So there's grants. So federal grant is money that you can apply for, and it's all based upon like where you live, your parents' income, stuff like that. And they will give you a grant to go to college, which there was sometimes I got like an $1,800 grant, which paid for almost my whole semester at Weber State when I was up there, right? I don't know how much grants they give out now, but the grant could also take care of some living expenses and stuff like that. And so you're able to put that towards, and it goes directly to the school, and they pay for that. Scholarships. So scholarships, everybody thinks of like academic scholarship. You have to do super well in school and that kind of stuff. There's all kinds of scholarships, right? There's scholarships for ethnicity. There's scholarships for writing. So if you write into a certain area, they will do that. Somebody said books. Yep. There's ones like your employer can give scholarships. So if you work at some place, they'll give you a scholarship for so much. All kinds of things. Student loans. I would really look at limiting the amount of student loans you take out. Some college students aren't very smart about this, and they use some of their student loans to go like on a big spring break trip. Probably wouldn't look at doing that, okay, but be wise on it. So yeah, there's books that you need to buy for school. There's also federal work study and internships, kind of like a little bit of the same thing. So one of the things I did is I worked at the state capitol for a while, and it paid me a stipend to go to school, and I got school credit for it as well. So that's something that you can look at. Institution waivers. So if you work at a university, they'll actually give you a discount or actually pay for the semester, which I've thought about doing that too if I ever needed to go back. Employee benefits. So they have some employers give like as soon as you get your degree, they will pay back the amount that you invested into if you stay with them for so long. And then also veteran benefits. So if your parents served in the military or you decide to serve in the military, you get so much money towards college. I'm going to try my hardest not to get loans. That is a good idea. I told myself the same thing, but I still had to get out some loans. But, you know, you just got to do the best you can. You'll try to pay your own through the job. Awesome. Yep. That's a good way to do it. I was able to get a scholarship. I can't even remember the name of it. But one of the things is I had to work at least 20 hours a week, right? So I had to work 20 hours a week, and then I was going to school full time, and it was pretty crazy. Yeah, so there's a lot of ways to kind of do that. So I just wanted to mention this website. This is something you can apply for October, your senior year of high school. It's called FAFSA. It's the free application for federal student aid. And you go to FAFSA.gov. And what you do is you just apply, and then you can find out if you get grants, see how much money they will lend you for student loans. There's also a lot of things. So this was something I would really just look into. This does not only apply just to like universities, but also technical colleges, community colleges, anything that's some people like the police academy. If you want to go to the police academy, or like fire suppression, be a firefighter, EMT, all of that can be included to work you there. Somebody says $3,500 a semester, and you would get about $15,000. Yeah. So I don't know if that's what you got on your FAFSA, but it looks like they give you a grant. Is that right, Nathan, for $3,500? And then up to $15,000 a year in student loans they'll let you take out. I think that's what you're meaning, but yeah, see, there's people out there already doing it, so really good to know there. Okay, that leads us to the very end of everything we were to talk about today. So just once again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. Oh, you're saying, I'm saying at the most for minimum wage. Yeah, if you're working minimum wage yearly, that's what you would get. I'm just going to share with you real quick the class again. Remember, if you go to the front of the class, any recordings that you were to miss, it'll kind of show you what pace you're supposed to be on. Go to the course plan. That's going to show a calendar of when things are due. This week, we should be working on Module 7, 8, and 9, which are in Unit 3, so you should have already completed all of Unit 1 here, all of Unit 2, and then starting to work on Unit 3. All you need to do is go in, click on the video, watch the video, and then take the quiz, and that's what you're graded on. As soon as you finish with the class, and you got the grade you want, you don't need to go back and redo anything, and you're done with the class. So, all right, I will stay after to take any questions, but I'm going to stop my recording now.